For today's video, I am going to be doing a simple video breaking down tape and extensions. This video is going to be part of the beauty school series. I was doing a lot with that series for a long time and then I kind of stopped, so I wanted to bring it back because I know a lot of you really loved it. And tape and extensions are probably the easiest method of extensions to apply as far as like permanent extensions go. So I wanted to kind of go over the process of putting them in, custom toning them for your client, and so on and so forth. So for my client today, we are going to be putting in these tape and extensions right here. They are the Mariah and the Sky, so we're going to talk about how to mix and match colors, custom tone, blend, placement, all of that fun stuff. So if you are interested in watching this, stay tuned. Okay, so typically the first step before installing blonde extensions is to purple shampoo or tone them. Most of the time they do come out of the bag a little bit warmer than we typically want. A lot of times it does match the client depending on their hair color, but today we are going to be cooling them down a bit. So I am going to be using the Kevin Murphy Blonde Angel shampoo. This is one of my favorite purple shampoos. You guys know I also love Fanola No Yellow. These two are my absolute favorite. So I am filling up the sink with this and we are going to be doing a purple shampoo bath. This is the most accurate way to tone hair extensions so that it goes on really nicely, it doesn't go on splotchy, and you have complete control of it. So I am doing the Sky first, and then I'm going to be doing the Mariah. The Sky is an ashier tone by nature, so I don't need to do a whole ton to those, but I am going to be cooling them down just a little bit. And then the Mariah is a dimensional warmer toned blonde, so I definitely want to cool that one down so it blends really nicely with the Sky. Okay, if you do a lot of hair extensions and you don't have this little device, you absolutely need it. I believe it's from a company called Hairworks. I will look into it and find out where you guys can purchase it, and I will link it in the description box below. But you stick your extensions into it, and then it has like a little suction cup grip on the back, and you can stick it onto any surface. I know a lot of people like to stick it to their mirror to blow dry. I have it in our fridge in the break room because it's just so convenient back here. So this is just a lifesaver when it comes to blow drying extensions, because if you guys have tried doing this, you know how hard it can be. So I am just blow drying these right now. You can see I have the Mariah and the Sky. I'm just kind of blowing them out, and then I will take a round brush to kind of smooth through them until they are all the way dry.
I know it hurts when love bites back, but it's your fault. I wish you'd just accept.
Once the extensions are dry, I always like to go over them with a flat iron. I keep this little mini flat iron here in the back room for things like this, and then I will be just putting some oil on the ends before I go install. I think that this is just a great thing to do before you put the hair in. You don't want to put it in if it has just been like blow dried crazy. You want to make sure you really smooth that cuticle both with a round brush and with a flat iron, and just make the hair feel as good as possible for your client. I also feel like custom toning the extensions like I did is a really good thing to do for your clients. It's my biggest pet peeve when stylists send their client home with more yellow toned extensions and they just say, oh, purple shampoo them, you'll be fine. I'm not gonna lie, I have done that before, but I just think that this is the best way to do it. You want to make sure that your client leaves with hair that matches their own hair, and you want them to feel beautiful and confident and not have to worry about doing anything on their own. So I do feel like custom toning extensions, whether it's a toner or just purple shampoo, is a really great way to give your client the hair of their dreams as they leave the salon. How we charge for this at the salon is per bundle of extensions, we charge $25 per toner. So if they had like 3 or 4 bags of tape and extensions, it would just be $25 per bag if we actually toned it, and then just a little bit less if we purple shampooed them. All right, I am now using my Rosé Hair Shine from JZ Styles. This is the hair oil that we launched about 6 months ago, I believe. So we are just going to coat this on the mids to ends. When using this oil, a little bit goes a long way, and especially when using it with extensions, make sure you never put it through the scalp or the root because it will make it a little more oily. This is definitely just meant for the ends of your hair. And now that we are back at the chair, you can see that we are blow drying her. Whenever I install extensions for the very first time, I like to wash the hair just to make make sure that everything is nice and clean and the extensions install correctly. Especially with tape-in extensions, your client isn't able to wash their hair for 24 to 48 hours, so you want to make sure that you give them a really good wash so that they can go that 1 or 2 days without washing their hair. When our clients come in for move-ups, we don't necessarily wash their hair every time. We do tell them to come with clean hair so that we can just do the move-up within like an hour or an hour and a half. It's usually pretty quick, but if they do request a hair wash, then we will wash it for them. Her hair is now dry and we are placing her tape-in extensions. I did want to talk a little bit about placement. When I was a newer stylist to extensions, I felt like tape-ins were a little bit hard for me only because I didn't know where to place them accurately. They are a little bit of a smaller piece that you're putting in all over the place, so I didn't want it to look stringy or have gaps, and that was something that was hard. And then move-ups were also hard for me because you have anywhere from like 20 to 60 little pieces that have been blended and cut perfectly, and you want to make sure you put them in the right place. So here I am introducing you to the placement guide. This is something you can find on our website and something I created 3 years ago. I am so excited to actually have this in my line because I feel like it's such an important tool. This little piece right here that you're seeing is an excerpt from our education manuals. So this shows where we place the left, the back, and the right, and that's just kind of like a little guide that our students get when they receive their manual. But the placement guide is actually a physical thing that you can get on our website. It is the material of a dinner mat, and it comes with 3 big boards, left, middle, right, and it shows you exactly where to place the extensions on the head, and it just kind of gives you a general placement. It is equivalent to 2.5 bags, so that's just kind of like a good guideline to go by. If you are doing 2 bags on a client, then you would just leave a few of the pieces out, and then if you did do 3 or more, then you could do all of them and then just add where they needed them. But the placement guide is especially nice for move-ups because you can actually take the tape and just stick it right there on the board, and it will stay right there so you know exactly where to put it back in your client's head. And I just love this product so much because I feel like with tape-ins, it's just a lifesaver. How many times have you taken out tapes, put them back in, and some of them are in the wrong spot, some are too short, some are too long, and you have to cut more off, and it's just a nightmare. So I do feel like this is a really helpful tool, and I will link it in the description box below. And something that I do tell my extension clients, whether it is tape-ins or beaded wefts, is I always do a general placement on them the very first time they're seeing me. So I generalize their placement. I do what I think works best for everyone. But of course, no 2 clients are the same, and everyone's going to have different needs. So after their first general placement, I tell them to come back at their first move up and tell me what worked for them and what didn't. Was one too high? Was one too low? Was one hurting them? Was one too close? Anything that they felt needs to be fixed, I will then fix in the second appointment, and I will then customize the placement to their own head. And then I usually just make note of it in my system so I know, okay, this client needs this tape a little bit lower or this row a little higher, and so on and so forth. And that is what I would recommend doing for your clients, because I feel like if they understand that the first time is a general placement and they do have a problem with it, then they know you are open to tweaking it the next time they come back.
I got a better place to be, where the only focus is me. The away list got me feeling like I'm flying. I've been holding on to these dreams. I'm ready to take the leap, 'cause I've been...
And now I wanted to talk about color mixing. So you guys know that I am using 2 different colors here, the Mariah and the Sky. I love mixing and matching colors, especially for blondes, because unless they are a solid all over icy blonde, most blondes usually have depth and dimension, and mixing 2 or 3 different colors really gives them a customizable result. So I always go with the dominant tone on top. So if her hair is dominantly a sky, I will do Mariah on bottom, Sky on top. So that way they have peaks of dimension popping through, but the top color matches their hair best, or vice versa. If she was more of a Mariah, I would do Mariah on top so she could have pops of the Sky popping through. So it's really important to remember just to pair them together with the dominant tone on top. But with someone like her, she actually has all different tones in her hair. So I was able to kind of do Mariah on one, Sky on one on top. So you kind of flip-flopped it where it was like Mariah on top here, Sky on top here, so on and so forth. But the biggest thing when kind of like blending extensions in the sense of like putting 2 colors together is never put 2 of the same together in a tape-in sandwich. So you want to avoid doing a Mariah with a Mariah, a Sky with a Sky, because it will end up looking stripey and skunky and not blended. Now that the extensions are all in, we are blending them. I am just going down and slide cutting. I already point cutted her baseline. When blending extensions, it's really important to remember that you want to do a lot of slide cutting and texturizing, and it's really just about visualizing where the hair is going to lay. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.